where are we here? Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. I alluded to it just before. This is the EXTREMUM situation. So apparently, if you guys haven't been following this, last year, 100 Thieves, they dropped their Counter-Strike team. Then JKS went to Complexity.
This is a story, what they're doing.
Well, it's actually pretty epic because this is the thing that maybe you guys, as international Counter-Strike fans, don't understand. But BnTeT is like the nemesis of the boys, right? Back in like minors and stuff, and they're going toe to toe, and BnTeT, you know, and Tyloo and shit, and that whole saga. And now they are uniting their forces. BnTeT is joining with the boys to replace JKS in what was the 100 Thieves team, to create some form of a mutant EXTREMUM roster. And having BnTeT replacing JKS, I couldn't think of somebody, you know, that he's almost perfect for the job, I would say. If BnTeT can he's listened to the steps that BnTeT's made. Southeast Asia to China, China to North America, North America now to Europe. And if he can continue to be a sick player, like he could be the perfect replacement for JKS in this mix. Now, let's yeah it or nay it. Do we think this is I already just fucking all said it all, Chad, you fucking idiot. Ask the question first. Well, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, do you guys think this is a good move? I won't vote. You guys vote. You both think it's a good move. Prof, you were first. You wanna double down?
Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. It actually just makes sense. They needed that star player in some form, not the same to the same level, I think, of JKS, at least not yet. But in the past, BnTeT was actually maybe more exciting, maybe like 2018, 2017, around that area. He was like literally hard carrying Tyloo into relevancy and calling at the same time with people that didn't even speak the same language as he did, and calling in 3 languages like English, Chinese, and fucking whatever, something else, Indonesian at the same time, because he's a fucking legend. So that's it's fucking legit. So yeah.
You want to throw anything on top here, Striker?
No, not particularly. I see that being true. The only thing that I would add maybe is that because obviously the main problem when we heard that those 4 were coming back together was that okay, but they don't have a JKS, you know, to put everything on and then have them carry like almost every game, right? So what I was thinking at the time before I heard the BnTeT move was coming was that they just want to make Liaz back into a star player, right? Back into the role that he played when he was wherever he was before he joined 100 Thieves. I'm forgetting the name for some reason.
Was it Order? Was he in Order?
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking, but it just didn't click for me.
That's all right.
Anyway,
I should know this shit, not you. This is my
but
boys.
He was definitely more like the JKS type player at the time, right? So I feel like that made sense to me, and maybe that's still the plan, and just have BnTeT like an extra star, you know. I feel like that makes sense to me. So while I didn't like the reunion at first, I feel like at this point it makes a little bit more sense to me. I don't expect them to be any better than they were before, like you know, like a top 10-ish team. I feel like they're still going to be around that level if they if they can replicate that. But yeah, I just don't see it as bad of a move as I thought before, just because reunions don't really work in general.
One thing that I'm super curious about here, boys, is what the fuck happens with their RMR points, and what the fuck happens in the ESL World Rankings, because
I'm pretty sure the RMR points are going to be back with them.
Yeah, which is meant to be in Europe.
They had the trio the whole time, but they'll probably
reset if you play in Europe.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the issue. Maybe
they have to come back. They could just travel back to North America for their RMR events, right? It's not. I mean, obviously, it's complicated these days, but it's not like an unsolvable issue.
Yeah.
So they could just come back to North America and play those.
How many
couple of months?
Would there be like 2 RMR events before the major, right?
2 to 3,
at least one
three at most for sure. They said initially online and then at least 1 LAN, so it has to be like 2+.
Last year we had
3.
So we should probably have 2 before the major, right? So I don't see that as too big of an issue.
Yeah, I'm just having a look here on the ESL World Rankings as well, because like their points, they would have points as well. Like if you guys look at Cloud9, as I know we do the HLTV rankings. But the reason I bring this up is because this directly influences what events for ESL, like your world rankings and your EPT points, right? If the boys come back and it's the 4 of them, their points will obviously have been decayed. But Cloud9, for example, off the back of just Esatag's points, because Alex would have had very few, Woxic would have had some, Mezzy would have probably had none, and Floppy would have had very few as well. They were able to find themselves, within the realms of the first page of the world's rankings, right? So with the boys, they will probably have a similar situation, which would then put them back in contention for invites to events and stuff. And I'm curious to see how they're considered. Are they considered an oceanic team in Europe? Are they considered a European team? Like in North America, they were considered a North American team. But let's say in this situation, if we're back at LAN and IEM Sydney or whatever Oz event happens, well, they're still the ones who are going to get the spot, not Renegades, right? So it's going to be really interesting to see how all of that kind of works, because I don't think we've had like a team disintegrate and then reform.
Come back together,
and, like it's really weird, but it's exciting. And I wish all the best for them, because it's some people I'm pretty big fans of. But just to play devil's advocate for a second, this could all go to shit, right? You were bang on, Striker. If Liaz has to step up and be more of a star player, BnTeT also needs to continue to be a star player. And Jacob needs to do what he was doing with JKS before on the roster. Then we need Grat to be more serviceable or just consistent on the AWP. He doesn't have to be a superstar. Don't worry about being a superstar. Just be consistent. And then the drive from Azza to the in-game leading. They need all those things to align, or they will just be meh, right? And that's not what we're looking for here.
I think that the only still interesting part that remains is like Kassad actually rejoining them after.
Again, this is the second time.
Yeah, third tenure with the team. If it's confirmed, it's not confirmed, but it's obviously going to happen because,
well,
unless something
said anything, right?
Unless something like
minute.
radical happens in the EXTREMUM camp, I guess. It's like, why did he leave then? And it's something weird. It's weird, but even they all admitted that they have this kind of a weird relationship where at certain points things got kind of bad in the team, and then they kind of clear the air, then things start going well again, and then I don't know, they just need to like clean their pores or whatever. So cool.
Get a mud mask on.
Yeah,
new year, new me. That's the motto. All right, let's keep it going. We saw so much.
I was gonna make such a horrible pun. Oh my god.
Oh dear. All right, well, it's a joke that never was, but